see a link between your music and what you're singing about and some of the problems that community health centers are trying to address to make people healthier?
For a long time, I've noticed about myself as a writer that I write about more than just the storyline. There always seems to be a background that comes through, at least in my own heart it does. Floyd Westerman's song Relocation Blues is about residential boarding schools, and I was so glad to present it to the community healthcare audiences just to underscore the good work that they're doing in trying to understand the lives that the patients live. Because some of the social determinants of health are, you know, how did you grow up? You never had a parent. You never learned how to parent. You have children and grandchildren of your own, and you've never even had an example of parenting in your heart to use as a model. I mean, this is a reality for a lot of Aboriginal people. In the community healthcare model, you know, hopefully you're calling upon more than just busy doctors and nurses who can do very well what they need to do, but very often in life that's just not enough. So you need family, and you need more and more support from the community, and it seems like in this model that's what you guys are setting up to do, you know, and what you hold up as a better future. And just the sharing, friend to friend, community to community, family member to next door neighbor, you know. This is all community health, and it's the bigger paradigm of keeping each other healthy and feeling good about doing that and staying healthy for a long, long time.
You know, there should be more of these community health centers because they're addressing problems, they're giving people the help when they need it, instead of when they're really sick and they're in a traumatic, you know, emergency room situation. So can you, what do you think about that idea? Because I think that is like a paradigm shift. I think it's completely how we think differently about healthcare. Healthcare is, most people think about when you're sick, but community health centers is about keeping people well.
The whole idea of community health centers keeping people well instead of waiting until you know, there's a huge health crisis is a much better model. That's the future. That's what makes sense to anybody, I think. And yet, in the past, it's been hard to find it that way. So, here's a group of community people working with hospitals, with healthcare professionals. And healthcare professionals is not just doctors and nurses. You know, it's technicians. You know, it's people who know how to operate the most fantastic new machines. But if a patient doesn't get to take advantage of the world of healthcare until they're on their last legs, you know. It's a little bit too late. I think it's very important to, you know, fan the flames on this spark that has been so successful where it has happened. And I think it's time for a phase 2 and just, you know, kick it into a phase 2 so that it becomes available to everybody across Canada. The bottom-up approach to health care where the community members themselves, they can see firsthand, they can see what the problems are. And it might not be the same as it is, you know, across town, but this is what it is here. And if community members can come forward and come to understand that there is funding available to develop, you know, what needs to be done that is specific to that community, it makes so much more sense than the old paradigm where the only thing that we did was to build hospitals and train professionals. Our buildings, our hospitals, our professionals are key, but they cannot possibly know what your mother is like, the needs of your community. They can't know that, and they shouldn't have to be as concerned with those details. There are it really does fall upon community members, I think, to step up to the plate and represent one another as only we can do. But you have to put it out in front of people. People have to see it. So I'm really happy for anything that we could have done through our concert and in exposing these ideas. I think they're good ones.
Yeah.